Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Pick and Roll, your NBA betting show that goes live right here on the Board YouTube channel every weekday morning for NBA free picks. We're part of the Hammer Betting Network, and for today's show, 3 free picks on the way for you guys to choose whether or not you want to tail. Of course, we would advocate that you do as such, but 3 picks coming on the way, so make sure you do. Hit the like button to get the show started, support the show, drive us up in that YouTube algorithm, and also consider subscribing to the channel and keep up to date. As I said, live here every weekday morning. And also, we have an additional show Thursday afternoon for you guys to check out. All right, we have 3 picks here. We're going to go through a bunch of options as well for each of these lines and try and make it as accessible as possible to the masses. But let's get into the picks now. So for starters, we're going to go back to Alex Caruso after his tough game in the last one out. But we're going back to his over here. We got over 15.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Few different options for you guys. I can't verify Caesars right now because it's down in my location, but you can get best price -127 at Bet Rivers. You can get -131 at Caesars if it's up in your region, or you can get -134 at Betway. Those are the 3 prices that we would say you can play. Anything greater than that, probably not the best to continue to play on this one. In the second play here, we're going to the Pacers and Mavericks to get Paolo Banchero. Sorry, wrong game here. I have the wrong graphic here, but Orlando Magic are in action for this one, and we're taking Paolo Banchero over 22.5 points as your Orlando Magic visit the Washington Wizards. Again, excuse me on the graphic for that one. I'll just adjust it very quickly here. The final play that we have involves the Los Angeles Lakers. They are in action against the Sacramento Kings at the Crypto.com arena, and we're going to be taking D'Angelo Russell over 17.5 points. This one is a bit harder to find. We had some issues with the movement on this one. The best price that we always wanted was -120 at Bet365. I'll pull it up in just a second here. The best price we found was at Bet365 at -120. And the second best price that we found was -133 at Betway. So again, a bit more difficulty in cracking down on this one, but we try our very best to find the most
I would
widely
say on
available.
this,
Wasn't able to do it here.
on the end of the Russell one, -125 Betano, -130 Bovada, and -128 BetSafe. So there are a
If you have
couple
access,
of other.
if you have access over there.
Yeah.
But for at least somewhat widely available, -120 at Bet365, -133 at Betway. And again, back to the Banchero play, Magic at the Wizards for this one. Okay. Difficulties getting those out, but we have the picks ready to go. No issues finding the picks. It was just setting up after the fact. Pips, let's go back to you and talk about this Alex Caruso play. Why are we going back to Alex Caruso after his poor showing last time out?
I mean, he just shot poorly.
Yeah.
Nothing to do there. Caruso is on the season shooting the ball well. He's shooting 38% from the three. He's shooting 46% overall. So 80% in free throws. So that was like a huge outlier game for him. So yeah, I just think if we take a look at the numbers on the entire season when he gets the minutes, he is crushing this line so easily, and we can see like over in 17 out of 20 games with 28 plus minutes without Lavin. He should play 32 plus tonight. 2 unders were exactly 15-point PRAs at the line. The last one is 1 from 10 from the field. So yeah, it is just like numbers game plus good matchup for us. Utah Jazz allowed the most assists and the most points over the last 30 games in the entire league. So positive matchup, good numbers behind it, good minutes tonight, and looking great.
Okay, there we have it on the first play for Alex Caruso. Let's go back to that second play here. It was Paolo Banchero on his over 22.5 points against the Wizards.
Yeah, this is Paolo Banchero is playing great since coming back from the injury, 29, 29, and 22 in the last 3 games. But the one last night, it was a very poor pace, and they actually kind of defended him well, and he still ended up with 22 points. It was 90 pace, like way, way, way below league average, and the Hornets actually played a good defense, and he still came up to 22. And if you look at the graphic, this is him up against below average rim defense over in 75% of the games, average 25.9 points. Play types look kind of pretty good, and similar players, Kawhi Leonard, LeBron James, Tatum, Butler, Leonard again had great games against the Wizards, and Paulo Banchero himself had after the first stinker in the first game, and we bet him, we went back, we won, and the next game he also played well against the Wizards. So yeah, I think he is taking this team on his back. He's it's not like him and Wagner like being main guys. He is the main guy. He's playing like it over the last couple of games, and now gets the back-to-back game away. So I mean that means should be a close game against the Wizards. If he gets great minutes, he should cover this easily. He's actually great this season in back-to-back games. Some players struggle back-to-back games. Not Paolo Banchero. He averaged more points in back-to-back games than in regular rest. So yeah, I think this is a great spot for Paolo. Don't see how they can stop him tonight, honestly.
All right. And the final play that we have here, we go to the D'Angelo Russell play. Again, this one was hard to find. We apologize, but the ones that are available to find for this one, minus 120 at Bet365 for D'Angelo Russell over 17.5 points, minus 133 at Betway. If you have access to Bovada, minus 130, access to Botano, minus 125, and access to BetSafe, minus 120. Again, we try to do our best to find the most widely available options. This one became difficult. So again, if things move around throughout the day, feel free to go and check as you watch. But for now, we'll play it for minus 120 at Bet365. Again, we will very, very, very often make sure it's widely available. But for
I
this play
mean,
here,
yeah, we can't do much there because I prepare the picks like 15, 20 minutes before the show, going through everything, and then we are just waiting for show to start. And then one line moves, we are trying to figure out what to do on that one while we are doing that. On other line moves, so it's complicated to go every single day at the same time, and creates like some like line move. Our lines always move. Like some people said, like okay, of course it moves because we share it on the show and people bet it. Almost every day we have line movement. Like I have picks 50 minutes before the show, and in the next 50 minutes, no one bet it. I'm just waiting to share it on the show, and they almost always move at some books. So yeah, we are betting good bets, and they move even without us betting. So yeah, sometimes it's tough when it happens on multiple bets. So we started 10 minutes later than usual, but we are trying the best we can to give you out the best bets with on the best lines. So talking about D'Angelo Russell, graphic will say show a lot because his form is just out of the world lately. He's been crushing it. He is playing awesome. Uh, he's shooting great. If you guys remember, we spoke about best three-point pull-up shooters, and he was up there in top 10 in the league. And now we take a look at this last 21 games with 28 or more minutes over in 17, 81% clear rate, 23.4 points average. Kings are like allowing a lot of spot up, and they are below average against pick and roll ball handlers. If you take a look at the similar players, like everyone is crushing it. Caruso had so many, like he's one of the unders here, but he had so many good looks. But Conley had like above his season average was self crushed the line with 32. Burks, Gordon, Richardson, or like guards that are somewhat of pick and roll ball handlers, but they play off other players a lot. And he have Dinwiddie, Reeves, LeBron here, so D'Angelo Russell will be on the ball, but mostly catching, shooting it. So yeah, this is a great matchup as Kings are terrible, like fourth worst spot up defense, and his numbers just look great. Like this is if you take a look at the graph, we see in some not great matchups, like 20 against the Nets, 27 against the Clippers, 29 against the Bulls, 28 against the Golden State Warriors, like 30 against the Pelicans, 20 against the Suns. like 26 against the Thunder, like all like teams that are better on defense than Kings are, and he crashed the line. And even the game like, against the Boston, he's just shot poorly, so he's getting good volume, he's shooting well, and he gets a great matchup. So I think this is a great spot for D'Angelo Russell.
All right, there we go. Those are the three plays for today. Took us a while to get them out, but happy to have provided them. Hopefully, you guys able to tail those in the best capacity possible. Again, see what's available in your region. You can use our BetStamp affiliate link in the description down below, whether you're listening to audio or watching here on YouTube, to see what's available in your region and where you can sign up to always ensure the best prices. Okay, two discussion topics for today. First of all, let's go to one of the favorites on the show here. A lot of success this season in betting on Alperen Şengün. And that's kind of not happened as of late because I guess the market has caught up to Şengün a little bit with how he's played this season. But the crown jewel, we'll call it, of the season was certainly in yesterday's game against Victor Wembanyama and the San Antonio Spurs. It was a 45-point, 16-rebound, 5-steal night for Alperen Şengün, 19 of 32 from the field. He was outstanding as well on defense with 5 steals and a block. What a performance, Pips. This is turning into clearly one of your favorite players here. Yeah, what was possessing Şengün to go through and get this unreal performance?
Yeah, he was motivated to play against Wemby, and the thing that happened after so many games is like after so much time, finally a team that defended Şengün in single coverage, they just let him battle against the Wemby, and he said like Wemby is very very tall, like he's huge, but he lacks muscles. So I went there into his chest and scored on him, and there are like 10 field goals. I think 11 or 12 field goals made directly, posting up and battling up against the Wembanyama. Looked awesome, and on the other side, Wemby only scored 10 points. Like great defense from the Rockets on him. So yeah, great thing to see Şengün going against the best defensive player in the league, or like top 5 defensive players in the league, and having a great night. For my Rockets, looked great and love to see it. And Şengün is unstoppable. Like
Yeah, we
inside
still
the
have
post, you can't do anything. Like,
we still have our preseason bet on the Rockets over on wins. That was on the preseason show that we did here on this channel. And the Rockets have kind of tapered off. They should still get to their 31.5 over line that we had preseason. But I won't say it's a given. But performances like this will certainly help us. But I imagine other teams will catch on a little bit. And yeah, they won't want to put Alperen Şengün in single coverage again. Absolutely not. Let's transition. Actually, I skipped over the recap of the previous show's bets. So let's go that before we get into our second piece of discussion topic. Yesterday's show definitely had some promise. Unfortunately, though, it was a 2-2 day. Kevin Durant and Jamal Murray, they both cover their line by 10 points each. So no sweat in the Suns and Nuggets game, unless there was something I didn't see before I went to bed.
it was sweat. It
Oh, it was
was
a sweat. Okay.
Yeah. Well,
Badger Boy says Katie bailing us out. He had 35. So when I saw the box score this morning, I was like, 35 for Durant, 28 for Jamal. All good.
this was on the pace to be the worst loss of the season, and we had some terrible losses this season.
Yes.
KD had 2 minutes into the second half, he had 22 points. And then he went on a 1 from 16 shooting run. KD went
One of
from 1 from
16?
16. 1 from 16 shooting run from the start of the second half till the last shot of the game. He made a 3 with like 36 seconds left to cover. And it went to the overtime. So yeah, but he
It went
went
to
one,
OT. I'm
yeah,
sorry, guys.
1 from 16, from like 20-second bucket made to the last bucket. He was in between 1 from 16. KD, like that's unheard of. Like KD went 1 from 16 from the one stretch in the game. Yeah, it's insane. I was sweating like hell. Easiest bet of the day, Pascal Siakam. The bet that had most doubts, like why are betting under in a game with 250 points. He wasn't even close. He got 13 points, 3 offensive rebound putbacks, and 1 transition, 2+1, and that's it from Siakam in that game. Kyrie, on the other hand, and Luka didn't share the ball that much. I mean, it looks assist, but it was all pick and roll. Luka Doncic, either throwing lobs to Gafford or shooting. And also didn't help. He shot poorly. 40% from the field against the Pacers is terrible. Also left the game with 3 minutes left because it was a blowout. And Darius Garland, insane stuff. He shot 6 from 20 in this game. So
Yeah,
he had
he had the
two
usage.
looks, and yeah, people said like, why are you betting him against Drew Holiday? I know Drew Holiday isn't going to guard Darius Garland, and I think he didn't guard him for a single possession in this game. It was mainly Jalen Brown and some of Derek White. I mean, Derek White is still great, but yeah, Darius got blocked like 5 times in this game, like 4 times by Derek White. And yeah, just poor showing for Garland, and he came into the fourth quarter with 15 points, and he had Dean Wayne just cooking the Boston Celtics. Incredible stuff. Like he went 7 from 3 in the fourth quarter, like that. That's unheard of.
Yeah.
So
Well, Max
yeah,
Strus
not
did it
not
the other
much for
day.
Garland there,
Unheard
and
of other than Max Strus the other day for Cavs as well.
yeah, Asus went 5 from 5, and we thought like we never seen that like ever. And
And
then
then Dean Wade does
same
it.
team, Dean Wade goes 7 from 7. Like that's way hard, more difficult than 5 from 5.
Of course, of course.
Especially against the Boston Celtics. Like that's
As,
insane.
as somebody holding a Cavaliers under on win total this season, which was one of the preseason bets as well, two horrific losses or wins for the Cavaliers that affect that. They probably would have gone over anyways, to be honest, but just holding out hope. These games obviously make that a bit more difficult. That being
I
said,
mean, Mitchell is out for some time, and now Mobley got injured. But I think they play better without Evan Mobley. I think that's the thing about the Cleveland Cavaliers. They play better without Evan Mobley.
it's
And
a tough
they were
question they're going
down
to have to
20.
answer.
They were down 20 when he got injured, and they won the game. When they get shooting at 4 with Dean Wade, they won the game, and they work best when they have only one big non-shooting wing. And yeah, it will be difficult for the Cleveland Cavaliers to figure out how to play in playoffs Mobley and Allen together. I think they can, like if they want to win.
Yeah, I've always
Evan
had
Mobley,
my questions about that. Not
yeah,
doubting Mobley as a talent; he's a very good player, but playing two non-shooting
finishing.
bigs at the same time is always going to limit the ceiling for this team.
Evan
And
Mobley is an awesome player. He's just not the greatest fit with Jared Allen, and Jared Allen is at the moment better player than Evan Mobley.
yeah, the way he's played this season, may have to say that. The thing is, though, with Mobley, he's got the higher ceiling for sure. Younger player, that's
Yeah.
probably the player you want to move with going forward. Maybe sliding him to the 5. We always talk about this. Maybe sliding him to the 5, moving on from Allen. I'm not sure. It's a difficult. It's very
It's very
difficult.
difficult to move on from such a great player. Like,
Yeah, that's what I mean.
yeah.
It just the fit maybe isn't quite there. Difficulty. The Cavs are very good. Don't get me wrong, but to maximize the team, they may have to make a difficult move. Let's transition now to another team near the top of the Eastern Conference. The Milwaukee Bucks, they were very poor as soon as Doc Rivers showed up, losing games before the All-Star break, 3-7 in his first 10 games. Since the All-Star break, they're putting things together. They've won 6 games in a row, back up to second in the Eastern Conference, had an impressive win in that run against a completely healthy Minnesota Timberwolves team. They just beat the Clippers as well. They've been beating, a couple of bad teams, the Hornets twice, but 6 games in a row for a team that was kind of falling off the pace here. What has been the catalyst of this run for the Bucks to kind of set their season back on the right foot?
They changed their defense. Like, no more deep drop coverage, uh, some switching, some way more help on the pick and rolls. We bet so many times guards over the against the Bucks because, as I said, they are defending in 2-on-2 without help. Now they are showing some nail help. They are making some stunts, making some like help and recover stuff and doubling sometimes. When Brook Lopez is not on the court, they even blitz sometimes, hedge the screens. So yeah, making some like adjustment on the defensive end and being like way more like comfortable doing other stuff than deep drop and being unpredictable. Being unpredictable maybe the thing of 2024 NBA with defensive part of the basketball when you can mix things up. Some of opposing players don't know what to expect when you're playing deep drop coverage on every single possession. Every guard knows exactly how to get to their spots and take the best shots. Now they have to guess, and it works very better for the Bucks. And if they continue with that, I can see them climbing up to be top 10 defensive teams. Yeah, they played terrible teams. I mentioned a couple of times on the Twitter because people are going nuts over their score defensive rating. But 2 games against the Bulls and 3 games against the Hornets is something that will always queue up the defensive numbers in your favor. But against the Denver, against the uh,
Clippers and
last game against
Timberwolves.
the Clippers, yeah, they're doing great. So props to them.
We'll see if they can maintain this for the rest of the season and, more importantly, for the playoffs with a guy like Doc Rivers. But things are kind of going in the right direction at the moment. Kind of funny that they've changed up their defense and they're doing better. Adrian Griffin, at the start of the season, tried to change up their defense and tried to play higher up on screens. And basically, the team bullied him off of doing that. And they switched back to Brook Lopez drop coverage. Now Doc Rivers is doing it. It's kind of working.
Yeah, but I will say Griffin did it poorly,
Okay.
or at least worse. He was putting Brook Lopez like going above the 3 point line. That's just easy. Like guards are just going to the very way quicker. Now he's playing like middle drop. Like he's Brook Lopez is there but not as high. And if he's deeper inside, they will just put the male help, and that works well. So it's it's some details difference, but also this team is now together for quite more time. So of course they will be better after 15 games than right from the start of the season. So yeah, I think there's a lot of factors going into this.
Fair enough. Fair enough on that. Well, that'll do it for the show today. Again, 3 picks on the way. Make sure if you're tailing and you enjoyed the show, you hit the like button and subscribe to keep up to date with all of our content over here on the Board YouTube channel. Daily NBA shows on weekdays. Let's get into the picks here on the recap. First of all, Alex Caruso going to as many lines as possible here to make sure it's accessible as possible on his over 15.5 PRA. I saw a message in the chat actually that this is minus 115 at Bet365. So if you have access there, play it over there. But the prices that are more widely available, minus 127 at Bet River / Sugar House / North Star / Unibet. Any can be book played over there, minus 127, minus 131 at Caesars, and minus 134 at Betway. Again, depending where you have access, play the best number. Second play here is in the Magic and Wizards game. A little bit easier for this one. Paolo Banchero over 22.5 points, minus 110 at ESPN Bet, minus 111 at Caesars Sportsbook. Final play, and a little bit of difficulty here. Kings at Lakers, but it was D'Angelo Russell over 17.5 points, which was minus 120 at Bet365, minus 125 at Betano, minus 128 at BetSafe, minus 130 at Bovada, or minus 133 at Betway. That's about the max to play this one at the minus 133 number. So again, we typically go for those widely available options. Not always perfect, but we give out as best as we can for Pips' plays here. Again, 3 plays on the way. Hopefully, we can celebrate a winning day when we're back here. Same time, same place tomorrow for more from Pick and Roll. Thanks so much for watching.